weekend the right way. We're closing out Friday night with the final match. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Chris Puckett. I'm joined by Reinforced Crumbs and Zoe once again here on the desk, and today has already been a bit insane.
Yeah, that is correct. But so has yesterday, so I expect nothing more for the rest of the week.
This whole week has just been nuts. It's kind of crazy. We just showed you the standings, and really this match, you're looking for London. They're going to try and get another 4-0. They want to compete for the #1 spot, and if you see that bottom match here, they're going up against the Shanghai Dragons, who still have not won a series. But the Dragons in the past, they've taken some big games from some big names. We'll see if they can do it once again. But let's start here with the conversation around the Spitfire. On an earlier show, I asked Bren, how does Seoul stack up amongst the world's best? He said Seoul Dynasty, best team on the planet. Johnny, when I told you this, you gave Bren the weirdest look. So where does London officially sit when you compare them to the best teams in the league?
So I know that, okay, Bren obviously likes Seoul Dynasty. And Monte Cristo, he loves his New York Excelsior. But I think when London Spitfire wants to, right? Because sometimes it seems like they don't want to win, and they just toss in some players that don't perform as well. But when the London Spitfire want to be good, and they perform at their highest level, and they're well prepared for the matchups, as in playoffs, I think they are the best team in the league. So, sure, the league format, New York Excelsior are good, because they can adapt mid-game. But when it comes to the playoffs, London Spitfire are my favorites.
Yeah, you really hit it. It's when they want to, but I think it also happens to be their opponents. Whoever they're up against, when they feel like it's somebody that is pushing them to new limits, that's when they bust out the big guns and they look really good. When you push them to the complete end, they just turn on to another level. Birdring's performances,
yeah.
when you have to name him because he just takes it to levels that you don't even think are possible.
You never want to see Birdring and Profit in the same server at the same time if you're on the opposing side. So I got to ask you real quick on this London squad. There are Stage 1 champions. They're fighting to get the #1 seed going into the Stage 2 playoffs. What do you think about this squad? What's your favorite part of this team?
I mean, everything. I love the versatility they have in players. I mean, I know you guys don't always agree with who they're subbing in and subbing out, but I do love that they have a lot of strategy behind all these decisions. They do prepare very individually for all the matches they have, for all the opponents, and they do decide very specifically which players they will be fielding and which players should drop the focus on the upcoming matches. And that's why I expect them to have some interesting lineups today as well, because I assume they're already preparing for NYXL and playoffs.
Looking forward to this weekend. That #1 seed up for grabs, but London, they're happy to play 14 matches in a single day if they need to get the win.
They can do it.
Let's talk about their opponents, though, because there's been so many whispers, there's been so many rumors about the Shanghai Dragon squad. They've added new players, and we've heard that Giggery is now in the country. We've seen it on social media. Is she going to be playing today, Zoe?
Yeah, she's here. She's in the arena right now. I haven't seen her, but she is here, and we see her on your screens right now. She finally made it. Unfortunately, she will not be in the lineup today, so we have to wait until Stage 3 where we actually get to see her playing with the team, because obviously, as she just arrived yesterday, she is being jet-lagged, and she had literally no time at all to play.
The crowd hype just died so hard.
I'm sorry.
It's like 16 hours of jet lag. It actually makes a big difference.
Yes.
And Ado and Fearless, they don't have enough time to actually get rid of the jet lag. So I expect them to also be hit by that.
All right, well, speaking of these players, I mean, first of all, I think it's smart. Save her for Stage 3. Get a little bit more practice in before you put everyone in. Start fresh in Stage 3. Today, though, we know we're going to see Otto. We're going to see Fearless. And these guys played their first match against Houston earlier in the week. I know it's tough to grade them because it was a bit of a lopsided matchup, but what were some of the early impressions? What did we see from these two players?
Well, overall, there was an awful lot of playtime as well, right? We didn't get to see that much of them. But what we really got to see was Fearless and Otto making individual plays. Like, sure, the team chemistry and the teamwork isn't there yet. They've had some problems adjusting to the new communication. But overall, Fearless and Otto, I think they have a lot of skill coming into this lineup. So it's just a matter of fact of getting it going and working as a team together, so you maximize the potential of all of these new faces.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, they didn't have much playtime, but also the Shanghai Dragons didn't really have an option because Dia and Undead are still not back in the US. So they had to either play with like 4 people or actually like getting those 2
Yo, bring me
players
in.
right
I
away.
can play Tracer.
Easy.
Johnny, you're too expensive. All right. We need you here on the desk, Johnny. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this matchup one more time. We got Otto, we got Fearless, and I have to mention, I saw the Shanghai Dragons off camera when they were watching those highlights. Every single player on the team was smiling. Today, will they be able to pull off the upset? Who wants to see the Dragons get their first win of the Overwatch League? They got a tough test, and the battle starts right now. It's London versus Shanghai.
All right, London Spitfire, just too much damage done. So far, so good for Shanghai. He is very well charged up. It doesn't get any better than that.
You don't want to be out here against Gesture. No, bye.
The Shanghai Dragons are looking hot to trot.
The Spitfire hold strong.
Introducing you first to our Stage 1 champions. Let's hear it for the London Spitfire. Good to see Hagobun back in the lineup today. 13-5 overall, 6-2 in Stage 2. They slipped up early against Houston, but have definitely righted the ship as this series has gone.
Yeah, and today we're actually seeing sort of the B roster, if you will. Hage putting closer in the lineup. Hureg, of course, playing the DPS role instead of Birdring, so upset potential.
No, not upset. They're playing the long con here. They are almost guaranteed to have that Stage 2 playoffs, as Malik mentioned it. So by playing your not A roster, you're able to save yourself some strategy. Your teams can't scout you and figure out what you've got in store. Any element of surprise makes a big difference when it comes to those playoffs.
And as I said earlier, like that allows the other players, the rest of the players who are not on stage right now, to actually already kind of prepare against NYXL, and that's very valuable.
Fury, one of my favorite divas in the game, in the lineup as well today. Keep your eyes on that man, and Hureg will be stepping in on DPS. London, they're your Stage 1 champions. They're looking to make it 2 stages in a row, looking for another regular season victory as they take on our opponents. Let's hear it for the guys on the right side of the stage. It'll be your Shanghai Dragons.
Surprise handshakes! I bet you loved them.
The new face is leading the charge. This squad was smiling backstage. They know they're going up against a tough opponent, but they seem to be in good spirits.
They are, but honestly, talking of good spirits, when they lost their last game, Ado took to Twitter and wrote something pretty heartbreaking. You actually have to go and read it yourself. He apologized profusely for their loss, saying he performed horrible and all sorts of things. And he also took away his own streaming rights and his own cell phone
No more Candy
for a
Crush.
bit by means of focusing on the game.
But you're joining the Shanghai Dragons, right? You gotta play the long con, you know? You gotta prepare as a team and get the teamwork going. You can't be so harsh on yourself. A lot of the players in the league, they're talking about the fact that it is a league. Long run, be able to pull off the win.
Yeah,
Ado, don't be so hard on yourself, buddy. It's a long year.
I respect the empathy, but realistically, as a player, you need to know where you draw the line in taking responsibility for things and coming into this team and trying to turn things around in one match. With 2 days of practice and jet lag, it's not the time to be your own father. So he should just take it easy, take a breather on
One
this
guy to keep your eye on today, it's MG for me. We've seen him on multiple tanks in the past.
Fearless.
It seems
And
he's
Tracer?
trying to take over a bit of a Tracer role now on the squad. If he can get something going there with Otto, they could potentially dive with Fearless. If not, it's going to look like it happened against Houston. Shanghai versus London. It's a bit lopsided on the standings, but we're hoping for a close series. Make some noise as we send it to our casters. It's Semler and Hex on the mic.
Thank you so much, Puckett. What? That's what Shanghai are doing right now, yeah. But are they going to do that in game, Hex? That's the question.
And they look kind of loose. I really like the point about MG. I believe Houston's coach Tyrong said that MG could be the focal point of this team moving forward, that he's maybe better when he's not on D.Va. He's been playing a lot of that DPS lately. Also, the academy team for Shanghai just signed a player named Late Young, who in my opinion was the best D.Va in all of China, the best off-tank. Things are coming together, however, slowly for Shanghai, on the verge of 0-20, but doesn't seem to be bothering them at all.
No, they're aiming for the long haul here. They're aiming for the long game. When you're talking about like the focal point, I just pictured MG as like the backbone of Shanghai, right? But then I just pictured this Spitfire Predator come through and just rip that backbone out. And that might happen. That might happen in this game. I mean, right now, London are in a perfect position going into the playoffs. They've got every advantage, and they've got a fantastic opponent for their last match to close things out, or nearly last match, before last match. Whereas the Shanghai Dragons, yeah, they're battling not to go 0-20 in the league.
Yeah, London's just doing so well on the map differential. And yeah, I mean, I completely agree. We know what London is. London's your Stage 1 champions. They're very good. It's them in New York at the top. Everyone else looking up. So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about Shanghai today.
Yeah.
I want to see if MG can step up. Zushu's going to be playing on the D.Va. He can flex off on that. He can play some fair. And then let's see the new additions. The guys are kind of hard on themselves. I think Otto specifically said, I'm putting away my phone. I'm putting away everything. I'm just going to focus on the game. So,
I like it.
Yeah, you like the dedication. I think this team is, you know, they're not turning the corner, but we'll take anything, any sign of progress.
Take out the white noise.
Yeah.
Don't visit Reddit. Don't visit Twitter. You don't need it. Just close the phone, close everything, focus on DM, focus on the game, focus on what your teammates need. That's what's important right now if you're coming into it. If you get a chance to show what you're capable of here in the biggest league in the world. So I like that from Addo. That's a singular focus that is key.
Okay, so they're going to run a double hit scan defense, Soldier 76. We'll see where MG wants to set that up. A lot of Soldier 76s have opted to go solo on the high ground. And we'll see then Otto will be on the flank. So yeah, let's just see what we can learn from Shanghai here. I don't know if anyone's expecting them to win. I also told someone that if they 4-0 London Spitfire, I will eat my hat. And I don't even own a hat.
You don't even own a hat. Heck, that's a safe bet to make. We'll have to find something else for you to eat. All right, Shanghai.
I'll just buy a hat. I'm not just going to eat something at random.
You're going to buy, yeah. But then you might be able to buy one of those, like, not a tinfoil hat, but a crepe hat or something along those lines. Look, it's technically a hat.
No, a nacho hat. Hats with
Exactly.
tortilla chips and a
The
little
pancake.
salsa. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. Ureg getting lit up there for a second. I like it. Shanghai Dragons trying to take the fight to London immediately. And Ureg with that nade, he is going to get overwhelmed. Zushu with the drive-by. Excellent work there, but Prophet in the meantime, lurking around on the point, looking for those juicy support plays.
He's not going to set foot on the point because they don't know he's here, and this is exactly where the supports are hanging out. And we'll see what Jester's up to instead, up top as they rotate onto the bridge. Seemed like Prophet backed out of there anyway, knowing his team was going to come up over top.
Just changing it up. Now he is pretty much on the point. How is he not on the point? It looks like on the map he's on the point, but not quite. He's dancing on the edge.
Just lurking around there. Jester gonna come in, come out. Zushu's out of mech now, so this makes Hurek's job a lot easier, although now he's getting batted around in there. They didn't commit the primal rage to that. Meanwhile, MG does fall on the point. It's been a chaotic first fight. Little brawls happening all over the place, but it seems like London's getting the better of all of them.
Yeah, Ado trying to do the best that he can there. Hanging on by a thread. I think he's only got like 5 HP left. He needs a pack, and he needs it quick. As Jester's just moving in for the kill. Exactly what London are known for, exactly what they favor, the strategy. Win the fight, worry about the point later, because we'll get it done eventually.
Well, it's just something that it's probably a kill that you have to finish. When Fearless pops Primal Rage and he's got people in that very small room, you need to trap them in corners, back them against walls, and get the kills that you need. Shanghai going into this, now they're going to have their support ultimate. The Nano will be up. You imagine that Fearless gets that. It should get him on his way to another Primal Rage. And nothing really out of the ordinary for London, although they've got a McCree rather than a Soldier 76, so they're just going to walk right up the gut here. Finally, a different strategy here at Hana.
I know, Hex, you were starting to sound like a broken record. Well, guess who else is broken? Hurek and Closer are dead. Super solid defense. Perhaps this is why we don't see teams walk up the middle, Hex. Go figure.
It's exactly why you don't see it, but I'm getting a little bit tired of the same old Soldier 76 on high ground. He's dead. We'll try it again next time around. So we'll see. Greg did go down very quickly in that last fight. I mean, it can work with a McCree, but you just have to hit all your shots. I think Soldier 76 is just a more consistent damage dealer up top. See where they want to set up. It looks like they are posturing to go top right and then get that Deadeye. I think if you can go straight up the stairs and don't do that middle high ground, just do the top right high ground, that's where Deadeyes can be ultra effective.
Now that's also giving Shanghai Dragons an opportunity to just keep farming up those ultimates of their own. Freefeel has got the trance, and MG has got the tack visor. Five Kings already used the nano though. Oh, the stick, but the trance is gonna cancel it out. Prophet though, going for the style points, I like it. Rest of his team give ground, realizing, hey, we just need to wait out the trance, then we can go in for this fight. They don't have any throughput now, Shanghai Dragons. They are vulnerable.
Shanghai looked like they wanted to get aggressive, but maybe not aggressive enough. They weren't able to follow up that trance with any kills. And Freefield will fall to Prophet, who just walked some time, now comes back to finish his plate.
Yeah, that was perfect work. Perfect work. Five Kings hanging around in the back. He's going to get the nano pretty soon here. MG sitting with a tactical visor. That combination could be what is necessary here for Shanghai Dragons. Exactly, there it is. The combo, the tack visor boosted. So much damage getting cranked out. Yes, it's instant death if he catches you.
A little bit interesting that Hureg didn't pop the high noon. He could maybe sneak around a corner, maybe catch the angle and shut down that visor. All these trades happening, but trades are going to favor the defense when your spawn is essentially on the point.
Shots are here. I mean, Hureg's still alive. Not for long, though. Decides to back out. I like the flashbang. That will keep him alive. Unfortunately, pinned, though. Yeah, he's still got the Deadeye, so is he just going to go back and trade it? Probably not.
Yeah, he's been holding on to it really long. I thought that he might actually just be able to play around the pillar on center there, sneak out, maybe catch MG during that tactical visor, chooses to hold on to it instead. Fight maybe already been lost because MG was, you know, boosted, just plugging away, completely shutting down. So far, it's been a pretty solid defense for Shanghai.
Yeah, what's nice about this is that Hago's got that trance. So there is going to be quite a bit of healing, exactly. They're just going to bowl their way through onto the high ground, taking advantage of it. Hurek now has that Deadeye, forcing them off the point. His teammates, however, not making any progress on the point in the meantime. Perhaps a little bit of a wasted opportunity there to just start sneaking in.
Yeah, could have tossed some bodies on there. Fearless gets a really nice kill in closer, and that might just be all she wrote for this push as they try to back out now. Only 4 alive for London. Maybe they'll stay in here and try to hit some shots, but I don't see the benefit of any of that. Really nice kill early from Fearless, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the new addition starting to contribute to this team, and you start playing it forward in your mind and theory crafting of how can Shanghai finally pull off wins. I think the additions they made have been playing pretty well so far, and it's only going to improve as coordination improves.
Just need more time to work, and Shanghai, that has been one of their strengths. Hardest working team in the league in terms of putting hours in. Well, here we go. And, oh, he's been spotted. Excellent awareness there. Making sure that the flank can't come through from him. He is still alive, but not for long. Hurek gets the flash on the recall. Bullet to the face, and that'll end that. Fearless getting topped back up here by his healers, and so 5King's gonna be loving that. He's got his nano boost once again. Could get that nano straight onto the tanks.
That forces out the early resurrection there. Hago's still holding on to his Transcendent. And this is going to be a really interesting macro battle. When they come down here, oh no! 5King, they were going to need that anti-heal to deal with the Transcend if it ever drops down, but playing very passive, waiting out this boost. So Ana should be back in the mix when the push from London actually does come in. London's been playing very passive.
They have been, actually. It's not so much of a soul kind of passive, where, you know, it's just relentlessly pushing forward, very patient kind of play. London seemed unwilling to commit almost. This is going to have to be the big one, though, because MG has held on to the attack visor, just changing up his position, trying to put some distance between him and the offense as they try to push through. Angry Monkey just batting him into the corner. He is going to be able to hang around here, however. The trance is there to mitigate the damage. And this is a situation now where London are all in. They need to get the damage done right now.
5King died very early in that fight again, which means, again, no anti-heal for the Transcend, which would have been beautiful, combined with the tactical visor. That will be London taking the point with 90 seconds remaining. Seems like everything's just a little bit off, right? 5King has to stay alive there. He died twice very quickly in order, stayed in the same corner, and that might be a time where you rotate to the other side, hang out a little closer to your Zenyatta so you're not all alone. You got to hit the darts there that people are diving in on you, because not having the anti-heal up when they needed it was absolutely huge. Because the visor forces out the Transcend. You know that. If you can anti-heal into that, you can still start killing people through it.
Yeah, the Biotic Grenade. Cuts all healing, cancels it out, really turns MG into a monster. You got to give it to MG as well. Played his positioning well, hung around in the back. Only so much you can do.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. There's times that they haven't spent together as a team, as a cohesive unit, and everyone else has been playing together for months now. And then, obviously, the language barrier is going to come into play. They're trying to communicate a little bit in English. It seems to be their common ground. So I hear.
That is one way to go about it.
Yeah.
Universal language of gaming, as far as anybody is concerned. English is pretty much it. Ask the Swedes.
Meanwhile, me and Bren can barely understand each other, and we speak the same language.
Then again, that just might be Bren.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also the Queen's English.
Oh, the Queen's English, oh, the proper thing. I mean, he's not talking about taking out the bin. Maybe chucking about, maybe talking about chucking his opponents into the bin. Yeah, that happens often, especially when he does get on the Brenji.
Mythical Brenji. All right, defensively, looks like a pretty standard setup here for London's defense on Hanamura. Double hit scan. Hurek going to be on that Soldier 76. Of course, Prophet playing the Tracer. Just pretty standard all around. I really don't think MG is going to come out of the attack torp. But you know what? Try anything. Why not?
Hey, that would be the biggest play. Just drop the turret and let it go to work, right? Constant pressure, Hex. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. Just play around it, guys. If you just play around it, you can win with the torp.
I said, don't encourage the Hex. Don't encourage it. All right, Zish is going to be taking point here along with his tank. Fearless leading the way, living up to his name. And Hurek already found the kill on 5King, which should prompt the reset here from Shanghai Dragons.
That can't happen, and that's either on the Lucio or on the D.Va. Someone has to be there to eat that damage or be in the Matrix where you're expected to be. And now this retreat needs to come out a little better and stronger too. That can't happen either.
What, a bunch
clean
of
up
headshots?
there. Well, I mean, I know Profit's capable of doing that. It shouldn't happen to Shanghai. You have to go all the way back. Now London just absolutely punishes for that rather. Going to be a very easy first attack deflected.
Quite a bit of progress made on the ultimates here for London. Hagapun's nearly got the trance already. Closer, same thing. He's nearly got the nano. So this is only going to get more difficult here for Shanghai Dragons. They need to play it patiently. Addo trying to go for the reflex, trying to mitigate some of that damage.
Yeah, he was triangulated though. He was taking damage from 3 different sides there. I mean, as good as the deflect hitbox is, or bad, depending if you're shooting at it or not, it's not going to cover you from every single angle there. You were able to finish damage in towards the end. And
Listen.
at least the retreat worked that time.
As far as I'm concerned, man, it's a bubble. Every time I try to flash those punks. Reflected to the face. Profit murdering 5 King ruthlessly. Freefeel as well. Gesture has been boosted, and so he will go ahead and get the Tase party going. The light show. And unfortunately, that is definitely not the show that MG wants to be seeing. He gets hunted down.
They did get a single kill there. Closer did die, and Ana is a bit of a geriatric. Might take her a little bit longer to get out here. No handicap parking near here for Nana to get back to the point quicker.
Or ramps, for that matter.
It
Stairs
is
everywhere
not
here.
really an inclusive temple, is it?
Not up to code. We're going to have to talk to Hanzo about this. He needs to get on top of it. All right, 5 King, though. He's just crouched in the corner. Prophet, you can just tell. He's looking for him. Hey, Freefeel, what's up? Bullets.
Not even gonna finish the kill. A little disrespect, not even committing the pulse bomb to it. Yeah, just, hey, I'm back. Remember me?
What can you do? The tank's finally gonna be able to get out there. There's a Discord, though. That's definitely gonna make life difficult here for Fearless. Pistol to the face. Prophet just holding on to the pulse bomb. And right now, it is looking like a terrific defense here for the London Spitfire. They're just continuing to bank ults. They'll soon have Closer's nano as well. And so there's only a minute and a half left here for Shanghai to make the magic happen. They have quite a few ults themselves to work with, so
yeah,
there's that.
London's just been doling out these ultimates one by one here, and that's why their economy's been in such great shape the entire time. If you're Shanghai, it's time to bury your boost and then brawl. See what happens.
Yep, get in there. Start committing some ultimates. MG gets clipped before that can happen, though. Trance is out. Moment too late to keep Tracer alive, but that will allow for him to ferry his teammates onto that point, and it does actually get the Trance out of Hagopun as well. Fury finding multiple self-destruct kills, though. Zushu gets demeched. And once again, it is falling apart here for Shanghai Dragons. London Spitfire did throw everything into it, though. Something to keep in mind. Their ult economy is very, very broke.
It is one of the reasons you bury your first, though. You give everyone the shield, then let them take their flanks. You don't necessarily need to fight up as a giant group. You don't necessarily even want to clump up all the time. And then when it all goes bad and maybe you got lower numbers and it's a 4v4, then you pop your trance because you're going to be closer together on the point. Not hitting the barrier there means that you lose someone early, and now you've already committed, and now you're taking a fight 5v6.
You're trying to get in. And while Pureg, speaking of 5v6, MG dies again. Now there's just a meat grinder in here. All the kills, Hagopun hogging him in the end. Prophet getting in on the action. Gesture, just a feel-good moment for him. 10 seconds left, and Addo might not be long for this world as soon as Prophet spots him. He's gonna try and make the play to the side. Instantly gets dove by the tanks. Hurek shuts him down. And it will be the impenetrable defense here for London Spitfire.
Yep. Pretty one-sided there as London will take Hanamura in short order. Shanghai unable to capture the first point, and it was just... Well, look, 50 deaths to 15.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot more to say than that. Simply got outclassed. Some coordination issues coming through for Shanghai. Hopefully they can work those out as the coordination of this team grows together. But London, one of the best teams in the league. You got to test your mettle somewhere. Might as well test it against the best.
Exactly. If you're going to learn anything out of this. Excellent opportunity here going into the break between stage 2 and 3 for Shanghai. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
3, 2, 1, and live. Welcome to the party.
So many stars on this lineup. And this is where we see the high quality Overwatch, everybody.
Enough of the fun and games, it's time to get the job done.
Alright, welcome back from the break, everybody. We're going to get into map 2 now between the London Spitfire and the Shanghai Dragons. And right now, London are doing a fantastic dentist impersonation. And not like modern dentist, I'm talking medieval dentist. All they have is a pair of pliers, and they're just pulling fangs out of this dragon right now. I'm taking a picture here.
Medieval dentists and doctors had it really easy. You could just lie to them and be like, oh, no, they're possessed. Here's my doctor stick, and just poke them. Sorry, you got a case of demons. Can't do anything. Maybe get some rest. Here's some leeches. Anyone could have been a
sure
doctor.
to bleed them like twice a day. That's gonna help. Hey man, those humors.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, we saw the stat there. If you were still around during the break, it was just a comparison of the Zenyatta's, and what we were looking at is that Hagopan was getting his ultimate about a minute faster. He's getting Transcend about 1:15. The other side of things, it took Free Feel over 2 minutes to get his Transcendences, and that's kind of the discrepancy that they're working with here. Very difficult first map. Hanamura did not work out for Shanghai, but Shanghai has to have the memories of Goldfish here, right? You just got to forget about it, move on. Let's win a map. Let's win a fight, something small like that. I know I say this about Shanghai often, but it's been a different roster every time we see Shanghai. So, like, how is this team going to respond to it? Lijiang Tower can be a little bit more brawly. If MG wants to be the tracer of the future for this team, as both Dia and Undead are out of country, and who knows if they can even get back in, then he's going to have... I mean, this is a good map for him. It's a great tracer map. He's going to have to go against Prophet, which is not easy, but if he can hang with Prophet, then he's, it's always about putting on good game tape, right?
Let's say, everybody's looking to show that they're an asset to the team right now.
Yes.
And so once we get into stage 3, once more progress is being made in terms of rosters, etc., it's a blessing and a curse, though, right? It's not a blessing and a curse. It's more just like, because you're trying to stand out as a player, you're harming the team.
Exactly.
And so you're not going to look good because Overwatch happens to be a team that, a game that focuses on the team.
But I mean, scouts see that as well, too, because it's the issue with like looking at contenders teams and university teams is like, well, is this player playing really well in the context of what his team needs him to do, or is he just playing really well? You know, is that person that you're playing was like, I have 5 golds, and it's like, well, it's because you're playing alone, right? You're not even playing with a team, it doesn't matter. So there's scouting issues there. All right, let's see what the Faras have here. Otto versus Hurek in a little Top Gun here as the garden phase commences a Lijiang Tower.
Moving right into the thick of things, fighting out in the open as well. No time wasted here. Those are going to be able to get in here. Make sure that his teammates stay alive. He is slowly working his way into a position for a boop if he were to be so greedy. Always a fan of the boops.
Yeah, they actually have to back off now. We'll see if they even want to enter in over here. Not only do you have to dodge boops, you have to dodge concussions. Both tanks in, but Fearless goes down immediately. And this is kind of endemic of just what we've seen from Shanghai since the beginning of stage 1. The tanks don't get the supports they need. They always go in, they die early, whether that's Roshan or in this case Fearless, who led the server in deaths on Hanamura as well. They need to find a way, if you're going to run dive, everyone's got to go in. Everyone's got to get the healing there, and it just seems like it's a little bit lacking.
You need your healers to have you in line of sight. It's kind of the 101. If you're going to get in there, your healers need to be able to be in line of sight of you. All right, well, let's see how things are going to go, because we got the wings out. Hagafun goes for the trance as well, trying to negate some damage, and the kills are rolling in here for London Spitfire. Shanghai Dragons, once again, both tanks, one of them DMAX, the other dead.
Historically accurate, Spitfire's taking down tanks. Works really well right there. They are going to bank up some ultimates too for London, so they've won these fights without even having to use a whole lot. They did transcend at some point in time, but that's all they've needed. Shanghai is just struggling again with initiation. MG dies late to a volley from Hagopin.
And
Well, did that get eaten up?
Yeah, I think it did.
All right, well, good job there. Small victories.
Small victories, because you definitely saw it coming. Hado's just eating damage right now going to get topped up by altering fast enough. And well, the fight continues on the ground. Hurek going to go ahead and pay attention to that in just a moment. And there it is. Sure enough, he gets canceled out. Anno comes in from behind, eliminates him. But Prophet in the meantime has dropped the tank yet again. Fearless is dead.
The tanks did get healing there towards that first initiation, and it came in the form of a sound barrier, allowed Otto to get a kill in Sky. 5v5 now on the point. Can they clean up anything else? They're trading out supports too. Shanghai still with a chance to take this point.
Zushu doing a great job there of getting on top of Hagapun as fast as possible. Fearless, however, will have the primal to keep himself alive. Fury with the self-destruct could be looking for an opportunity to get in here to wreak some havoc if he needs to go for the remake. And while Prophet just getting batted around.
I mean, despite how decent it's gone for them, they have to finish fights. Ah, that fight is now finished for them. They will not be able to swing control back. And it was one of the biggest things I noticed while casting the Chinese scene is the inability to finish a fight. Fights drag on too long, focus fire is not there. So when you don't have control of the point, you're just bleeding percentage over because you can't find that one target to finish off a fight. That is a problem that needs to be remedied.
Will be one of the many that are focused on going into the next stage, you can be sure. In terms of what they can take away from that, though, I mean, like Addo definitely had his moment there. Was able to get the drop on Hurek, getting a bit greedy, but really not quite enough. Really, when you need to have your tanks, you need to have your tanks getting backed properly by the supports. I mean, you're talking about the fundamental building blocks here of team play and Overwatch. And so when it comes into this week between stage 2 and stage 3, where they're going to have time to just focus down on these issues, in particular with a roster that perhaps can stay the same, things can get interesting here for Shanghai going into the next stage.
It's always been their issues that they never really brought a duel together of like 2 tanks or 2 DPS. So now you're always trying to learn together. Now MG has to learn how to play with Fearless. That's how dive works. That's the engine that makes dive go. Fraser and Winston getting on the same target. Then you add in your D.Va, you add in your Genji, and you start adding pieces to it. But without MG and Fearless arriving at the same spot at the same time, this dive will never work.
In terms of the fight out in the open, really showing no fear here. London Spitfire, of course, going to take these. Hurek will get the D-Mech on Zushu. And it's looking like, as far as London Spitfire are concerned, they will get first point control. Although, as I say that, Addo manages to get in here and do some damage. MG takes down Hagapun. Hurek is out as well. Prophet looking for an angle, but he's going to get a boot to the face. Altering removes him.
They got to keep going in here, does Shanghai. That was all the healing for London out of the mix. They need to just be taking down these targets who don't have any more healing around. But the tank play comes in, keeps them alive, and does buy them enough time to get their healers back into the mix. And it's about that killer instinct, finding your one window. All the healing gone, can we finish that fight? Shanghai cannot in that instance. So rough go over there, a better fight for them overall though.
Yeah, it's Gesture who just decides to stay in there, get all the kills, and just become the unkillable monkey.
I heard Gesture's pretty good.
Yeah, no, Gesture's pretty solid. He's a beast.
All right, it's time to barrier in, then get on the point, then transcend. Here comes a barrier, very nice. Catches everyone, but Otto is split second too late. Will not get the barrier, so they have to commit to this, even though it's 5v6.
It's a nice tidbit that we saw there as well. The Gesture and, Gesture and Fury have yet to die. Whereas on the Shanghai side of things, they are getting beaten up, getting mauled. There we go, pushed back yet again. Holding on to the ultimates. Once that trance comes in for London Spitfire, they just ramp up so quickly that they hardly have to throw anything else into the mix to get the job done.
That's a really small thing that Shanghai just was unable to do there. Fearless is their primal rage, right? So he's on the left side and he's leaving. Otto comes in on the different side, trying to get the deflect. If the deflect is there, then there's no target for them to shoot at. Instead, he gives them the option, just about being a little bit closer together. London's gonna burn a barrier here at 57%. Otto will find nothing with that blade.
No, instead he gets tased pretty much. Fury will be the one to find that kill. It's Gesture once again in the back line, really ramping, keeping the pressure up on Fearless, who doesn't seem to be able to make it out of here in one piece. Fury just continues to pour it on. Gesture and Fury still at 0 kills. Fearless has died 6 times, Zushu 5 times.
Yeah, tank play has been the big difference. That's what London's always good at, though. London's tank play has been one of the big reasons why they are at the top of the Overwatch League. The tank play has been unquestionably great. And I mean, like, they can even run Wuyall into this if they want, but it's going to be Fury gets the call today. Transcend comes in just to give Shanghai a chance to get out here. 90%, they have to win this fight or the map's over.
And it's all about getting in here. Prophet just being so patient about it. Not going to just throw his pulse into nothing, even though they are all grouped up. Addo's trying to do the best that he can to stay alive. That's not going to happen. Fury is here. Fury doing work right now, and Fury really keeping him up.
They will get a kill there. Fearless will finally finish one there on the closer. They've got a small advantage. They will trade out Zenyatta's here. Now it's about finishing the fight, and MG is ready to do it.
Oh, they have a real chance here as Gesture goes down, delivering the first deaths to the Spitfire tanks. They will get the flip. Prophet even gets run through by Ado, and there will be no chance for him to get in here and contest. Shanghai Dragons, they stop London Spitfire at 99%.
Small victories that you have to build on. The crowd is definitely on Shanghai's side. They got a chant earlier. Everybody is ready for this team to be more successful than they have been. Just gonna start it up with a pulse bomb. No finish there.
Not going to be able to follow it up, and so London Spitfire sticking together. The knockback attempt's not going to be good enough, and Prophet will find 5 King in the end. Prophet staying on altering as well, looking to kill the back line single-handedly, and he will do that with the help of Gesture. They're just getting picked off, they're getting mauled.
No more healing, no more tanks. Hureg absolutely mopping up 99% to 31. I don't think Shanghai's going to be able to get back here. A victory barrier drops that beat. Shanghai showed a little bit signs of life there, doubled their kill total in the last fight. They're able to get themselves up there, but it has been all London Spitfire, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 across the board as we head near halftime.
Halftime. Well, we'll hear what the desk has to say about this, if they're going to go ahead and run along our lines of reasoning, or if they're going to go off into the distance and find their own. But we will be back after the break to hear what the desk has to say, and after that, we'll have map 3 between London Spitfire and the Shanghai Dragons.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
London is looking to lock down that #1 seed heading into the title matches, and so far, it's looking pretty darn good. They're up 2-0 over the Shanghai Dragons. Explosions, party. It's been great here in the venue. Welcome back, everybody. We got an awesome crowd. You guys are still awesome. You're still awake, right? Yeah, that's right. I'm your host. You know these guys. It's Bren. Just kidding.
What?
Crumb. Why did they breadcrumbs?
Oh, are you gonna flip-flop, Crumb?
I was
Are you gonna
Brent.
flip-flop?
I would not. What would I do with my life? Just start predicting people to be the best thing in the planet?
I mean, I'd rather have you as my roommate than Bren. So, see, Bren.
It'd be much safer for everybody. Okay, let's jump into the games here. They're pretty quick, and that's because London has been so successful with their attempts. As we look back at Hanamura, let's talk through some of the highlighted moments. MG running the Soldier 76, while Otto was showing us Tracer. I was expecting a lot of Genji and Tracer combo, not so much.
Otto played the Genji, right, versus the Houston Outlaws the other day, but we spoke about, at the time, how Otto can also play the Tracer. If anyone knows Arhan, of course, before the Overwatch League, sort of a similar player, really good at the Tracer and Genji. So obviously them playing Tracer, the more impactful of the two heroes, in my opinion. Perhaps they expected to have the upper hand. And then on the attack, Otto flexed over to the Genji because a lot of teams favor the snowball potential, but they weren't able to cap point A in the first place, so not really much snowball from.
Why is it so hard to break through that London defense? It looks impenetrable.
It's not as impenetrable for other teams, but I welcome any change for the Shanghai Dragons here. They're obviously trying to get things done with new players, so if they can just start experimenting more while the rest of the lineup falls into place, they'd have a much easier time figuring themselves out for the next stage. So this is all fun for them, and great, rather, for their improvement, being able to just try new players on new compositions.
Absolutely. They do have 2 more maps moving forward. Game number 2, though, just like game 1, was all London. Let's take a look at Lijiang Tower. Of course, we have Profit popping off, but it was Hureg I was keeping my eye on, and it's good to see Fury back in the mix on that Diva.
Hureg on the Pharah specifically, it is his pocket pick, I'd like to say. We see a lot of hit scan coming out of Hureg, but the Pharah pick is really his specialty and what a lot of people expected him to bring out going into the Overwatch League. So this is his home field if you guys playing this Lijiang Garden stage, of course. So, but Otto, he turned up at moments and they got a few picks actually.
Yeah.
So it's another nice look from the Shanghai Dragons. I think on Lijiang, they showed some level of coordination, but it's still not enough to actually contest and get those fights done.
He was hunting Hureg, actually. That was actually my favorite play out of the Shanghai Dragons so far. So watching Addo look at the Pharah, you know you have the aerial dominance duel, but then you wait for him to go for the barrage because he gets into position and you're just sneaking, hovering right above him, and then you one-up it. Because in the Pharah duel, the one who uses the barrage first typically ends up dying.
All right, so far it is London at the half, and that is going to do it for our halftime coverage. We still have 2 more games to go tonight and 3 more matches tomorrow here as we close out stage 2 before the playoffs. As we wrap up halftime, though, we want to talk about a guy we met up with earlier in the week. It's the King of Fives, Five King from the Shanghai Dragons, taught all of our Lucio players how to step up their game in Game Set, sponsored by Omen by HP.
MG will be revived by 5King.
But 5King all over that point right now.
Oh, yeah, there it is. This is why I'm bullish on the Shanghai Dragons.
我是来自上海 Dragon 的 Five King。第一个这个英雄我经常使用卢瑟，第二个就是莫伊拉，然后第3个是查亚塔。能打开卢瑟，首先我要把反向滑墙开启，能让自己的走位会更加灵活。卢瑟灵敏度调成12，因为卢瑟它是4发，所以它需要一个比较精确的预判。同时呢，你需要用自己的滑墙来进行逃生或者是追杀，所以你的 DPI 不能太快，也不能太慢。太慢了的话，在你进行追击或者逃生的时候，导致那个视角不太灵活。如果太快的话，就会导致你的那个子弹命中不了敌人。所以它这个 DPI 比较要适中，是600的。我比较喜欢调成紫色的准星，会让我看敌人看得更加准确一些，然后打得也会准一些。如果是莫伊拉的话，我可能会稍微快一些，就是900的 DPI， 根据手感调5至6之间，基本上不会差距太大。如果我感觉慢一些，就调到6。然后查亚塔的话，一般灵敏度都保持在5或者5以下，因为这个英雄需要大量的瞄准。然后队友生命条一样是开启， 这个鞋跟乱的灵敏度的话，其实我没有做过测试，所以说我基本上是这2个我不会动它。赫兹是最为重要、最为关键的一点。过高的赫兹会导致你的画面过于精细，就会导致你的整个视角出现偏移。我过低的赫兹的话，会导致你无法准确的命中敌人。现在目前进行竞技守望先锋游戏的电脑的赫兹一般是144或者是244这样，但是我喜欢就是取一个中间值166。希望我的个人游戏设置能对观看此视频的你有一些帮助。
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
It has been all London Spitfire so far as they currently hold a 2-0 lead over the Shanghai Dragons. And the London Spitfire appear to be hungry. Their stomachs are growling and they can smell another stage title in the near vicinity up for consumption. Can the Shanghai Dragons do anything to slow them down? Let's find out and send it over to our amazing caster duo of Similar and Hex.
Thank you, Malik. Right here, man, right here. Oh, wait, there we go. There, we got it. We're getting better, man, we're getting better. All right, so yeah, and now it's just a matter of slowing them down at this point because London Spitfire, I think it's very clever on their part what they're going about right now. We've seen other teams do this in the past in the stage where you kind of put in the B team, you put in the bench warmers, you let your A team really rest up for the big matches that are to come because it's pretty much a lock that London will be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they don't have to show any strategies. They can look forward. Freefield will come in for altering, which might be a step in the right direction. I think if you go back to like game one, stage one, it's been an issue with the Shanghai supports since the beginning of time, and hopefully they're getting new players. I think the rumor was Zhu Fanjun also goes by the name of Sky now. He was a very, very good Ana in the Chinese region. There's another player named Shai that I don't know if they're going to bring in. He was probably the best Zenyatta in China. But right now, look, the sports are dying, and this is a trickle-down effect because the tanks go in. They don't have the confidence that the healing's going to be there. If you watch the tanks for London, they're down to 10 HP, 20 HP, and they're still looking forward where the next target is because they know. They know the healing is coming in. Yeah. The confidence is not the same for the Shanghai. We'll see if the supports can get there and just get a little bit more healing. If they can put something together, it's been really difficult to find a bright spot in this set so far.
Just, to highlight that point, there are some stats to back it up, and really in terms of the control map, Gesture, Fury, they died once each. Zushu died 6 times, Fearless died 7 times.
Yeah.
In 2 very quick points. So a lot of dying going on here for the Shanghai Dragons tanks, and that is definitely going to be an issue that they're going to have to focus on as we move into Hollywood. And there is the fly-through. So nearing point 3, Shanghai Dragons really going to be looking to get this far. No, that's too harsh. That's too harsh. But I mean, we really have to kind of keep things in mind here because they start on the defense. London Spitfire right now have been just mauling them. So it's on Shanghai Dragons trying to hold the line here on the first point. And as far as their setup is concerned, as far as their actual roster lineup here with heroes, it's not looking too bad for Shanghai.
No, I don't think Shanghai needs to try all sorts of different stuff. A lot of people are like, why not try this? Why not try that? No, it's about doing one thing that you can get good at, right? Just get something locked down. And we're switching heroes constantly, switching compositions constantly. What are you really learning from it? And that's what it has to be Shanghai's goal right now is, let's try this. What went wrong there? Let's fix it for the next one. And keep fixing, keep working until you get something that works. And I think going to something that's a little more dive-oriented, look, that's the basis of almost every Overwatch League team. You got to have at least dive. That's what everyone's been running for over a year now. Let's see if they can get it going. Offensively, they're going to run a Junkrat and a McCree. Not the most typical of combos here, but we'll see if they can make it work.
Kind of going back to Hanamura, the McCree for Hureg seems like a comfort pick for him. I mean, give the man what he needs to get headshots. And Ado gets spotted immediately. Unfortunately for him, trying to set a little bit of a trap there, did not work out. And you've got MG drinking his latte, throwing bullets out there.
Yeah, they're just going to try to get on this corner here, and if they see an opportunity, they will dive into the cafe, but it's just Hago throwing in orbs there, making the soldier's life uncomfortable. Tanks come in for the dive up top, dips and dives. We'll get back down.
That shield was impeccably timed, because I think that volley would have definitely caught MG if the shield hadn't been there to block it. I was cutting it a bit close, but now they've got that high ground. This is really going to be solid for Hago as well, because if Gesture keeps poking in here and keeps dropping low, Hago just needs to keep his Harmony Orb on him and just farm that ult. That trance is going to happen so quick here for London Spitfire. Closers nearly got Valk already.
They spotted out Otto in the back. Otto does dodge that volley, but Fearless will be the first to fall yet again, and oftentimes when that happens, Zushu was right behind him. That is 3 quick kills. A 6v3 now. London will smell blood in the water. Mentioned that perhaps London is hungry and Dragon seems to be on the menu.
I mean, if it tastes like snake, right? Eel. Eel is pretty tasty.
Yeah, snake's good too.
Yeah. I mean, who could blame him for being hungry then in that case?
No rattlesnake action. Well, Otto, no one sees him. Hiding.
You can't even say like they're a young snake, because young snakes are actually like more lethal than adult snakes, in Shanghai Dragon's case, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they're like, they have to work backwards.
Maybe they're like
a really old snake that's looking to get young again.
Maybe they're like the dragons in Game of Thrones. Maybe season 2 is where they start leveling up here.
Yeah? We gotta give them time to grow, man. They're bringing the magic back into the world, though. As they do actually get chance from the crowd. Fury launching himself through bodily, going for the drive-bys on everybody. MG has got the tac visor out, not quite finding a target, though, unfortunately for him. And so it will be, nope, not even that. Has to back off, give ground. Prophet going to keep the pressure up on him, and they are continuing this fight. But the sound barrier has been thrown in here for Shanghai Dragons. They're trying to throw everything into the mix. And it's not quite coming through.
Throwing it all after they already lost one is when that sound barrier came out, unable to get aggressive on it and taking the 5v6. That's a nice stick from Otto. Hureg will fall.
There we go. Closer though, is he going to be able to get in here for the res? Could attempt it, and yep, sure enough, he will. The trance cancels it out. You're not going to kill the Mercy, but then he gets killed as well. Hureg gets brought back to life only to go up in a blaze of glory.
Don't care, that was such a cool body block right there. We've seen all sorts of different ways to ensure the resurrection happens. You get bubbles, you get transcendence, and the huge block right there make sure that that res comes through. London will continue their push. And the big question is now, how is Shanghai going to deal with an unopposed Widow? We've seen the best answer to a Widow, especially in the Westworld stage of Hollywood, is a Widow of your own. I'm not even sure who on this roster would be running the Widow, because with Dia out of it, who was one of their best Widows, even Undead, a very good hit scan character, they don't really have it right now.
And now, when you have the wall hacks getting into play as well, that's going to make it even more difficult here for Shanghai to find a way to take this fight. Prophet moving his way in, just mowing them down in droves. No fear from him. Free field going to pop the trance just to keep his teammates alive, but it doesn't work out for Fearless, unfortunately for him. And so Prophet, he is taking a little bit of damage. He's feeling the heat, so he's going to have to back off and look for a pack.
Well, they are going to DMAC too. Again, it is Fearless who falls first, Zushu right after, and what are you going to do when none of your tanks are ever alive? MG is able to get a single kill, but will give his life for it because Chester adds a third kill to this freak who Reg's brought back into the mix. Shanghai's just looking for any sort of glimmer of hope here, being snuffed out by London.
This is very much the game plan for London. Kill the tanks, you kill Fearless, you kill Zushu, and then you beat up on the squishies like bullies.
Now, Fearless died during a Transcend too, and that's one of the biggest problems I see here is that the support ultimates come out and it doesn't matter. A barrier comes out when they've lost one or two. Transcend comes out in the non-ideal position to save your own life, and then your tanks still die. It's just about extracting value from those ultimates. The support ultimates especially are where Overwatch games are won and lost, and they simply can't find the right timings.
Oh, there we go, perfect timing there from Fury to get up there. Discord Orb onto Fearless again, but this time he has got the Primal. He will survive a little while longer. MG getting run over there by Fury, but he's able to dodge it. And the sound barrier has been thrown in, instantly canceled though with the Blade. Edo just trying to make something happen, trying to make something work, but Hagwapun will cancel it out with the Transcendence. And they're back to square one. Only issue is here, London Spitfire have now got the advantage in terms of ultimates. Prophet will find 5 King the old-fashioned way.
It was a sound barrier yet again, but Zushu had fallen already, so these support ultimates continue to come a second too late, not getting the value that they need out of him. London continues to push forward. A Primal Rage has popped as well. They're looking to shut the door as the executive waits his parking spot.
VIP. Just written there on the ground, waiting for him. You know,
I've never been one, so I don't even know what it means.
Oh, what? That looked like a stick, but it doesn't happen for Prophet. Looking close enough, Fearless dropping dangerously low yet again. He might cop it right here with the Discord Orb. That is definitely doing a lot of damage, but Prophet cannot secure the kill. Closer, the wings have been folded, but he's still able to keep his teammates alive.
And nice Valkyrie doing all sorts of healing. I do believe they might have pulled off a DMAC somewhere in that mix. They continue to push, have not lost anybody. Here comes a Transcend defensively from Shanghai. You gotta get aggressive on this. You have to convert this into kills. They do get one.
Yeah, that's a big one. Hagwapun is dead. First time for him. We will have a couple kills coming through now, actually. But London Spitfire fighting back. Prophet is there as well as Fury. Fury continues, and then he's got the self-destruct. Ado's gonna behead him. But that's fine because Prophet just stays put, and the exec can go to work. Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice overall round. So when I came into this set, I said, I want to see what the new guys can do. And even if they're kind of having to solo queue it a little bit, let's see if they can actually get some work done against some of the best teams in the world. Ottawa had a decent round. He got 7 eliminations, 6 of those were final blows. It means that he's isolating people and able to finish those kills himself. So a good sign there from the new addition. But again, it has been the supports and the tanks. I don't think Shanghai's problem's ever really been their DPS. I think Undead and Dia were fine when they were running pure DPS, but it's always just been, can the supports keep the tanks alive? Can the tanks keep the supports alive? So far, no matter what iteration of the roster, the answer has been a resounding no.
No. Now it's all, you know, looking at this right now, it's London Spitfire. Can they keep Hureg alive? What is Hureg doing? He pissed off the Dragons. For some reason, he's died 4 times. When everybody else hadn't died yet, they've all got just 1 death, apart from Prophet, who just remains unkillable.
It's literally half of their deaths. All of London died 8 times, Hureg died 4.
Yeah. Well, Shanghai, they're going to go on the offense now. And we'll see. It's looking like pure dive on their side of things. Whereas London Spitfire, they have set up Prophet with the Rat. And Hureg will be going over to the Tracer, interestingly enough.
Okay, so Shanghai on the offense, going to run a pure dive composition. Let's see if the support ultimates can improve a little bit. Can you convert those support ultimates into kills? Do you not just use them in panic situations? Can you set up an X's and O's plays and then execute it? A lot of these questions need to be answered for Shanghai. You know, the new players have played pretty well there. And like I said, Otto had himself a decent round. It's just a matter of getting everyone else on the same page. some growing pains still ahead for Shanghai, unfortunately.
They're gonna have to buy clothes several times because by the time they're fully grown, you know, nothing's gonna fit. All right, let's see. Moving through now as a group. Fearless taking the high ground. Fury was hanging out around there initially. 5King already taking orbs to the face. That's never a pleasant thing, but neither is getting blown to bits. Prophet starts off strong. Refill is gone. And well, then you could actually have the aggression on Hollywood. We've seen it before where the defending team, when they're feeling confident, when they've got their blood up, they just take the fight all the way back to spawn.
Yeah, never really what you want to see, a speed boost into reverse to get out of there because they had just lost their Zenyatta. Let's give it another shot here. They eat a lot of damage on the way in. Have to use that boost right away to get some healing going. Gets everyone in position at least. So now first part through the gate has worked out.
Yeah, and now we already have a little bit of progress. Well, just a tap on the point here. Now it's going to be a matter of committing to it. Can they find the juicy targets? Hagopun in the back already dropping low, but then that's opening it up here. The focus on Hagopun, who refuses to die, allows for his teammates to wreak havoc in the Shanghai Dragons lineup. They are getting overwhelmed. These Discord orbs from Hago, man. Wow, Fury. I think it's goodbye, not hi, but okay, that works.
That's your counterpart. Show some diva respect, some solidarity. You know what it's like to be out of that mech running for your life? Have some mercy.
Well, they have one.
I walked right into that. That's my bad. Sorry, everyone at home, that I set him up for that.
No, I have no shame, man. I'll just take that and run with it. It's fine. It's fine. Shanghai Dragons continue to push, and Prophet now with the tire right over the top. Let's see, who's he gonna find? Well, that guy's gonna die anyway, so he goes ahead and commits it to 5King. Get rid of the pesky Lucio. Both supports are dead now for Shanghai. Fearless dead as well in the coffee shop. And there are 2 minutes left on the clock here for Shanghai Dragons to make some progress on this point A.
It's a team kill. They did have to pop their Valkyrie for that fight. Shanghai is nearing some of their support ultimates, which is really the thing I'm keeping an eye on as we go forward in this match. Can those support ultimates improve? It's gonna be the first step to a successful team play.
This is really Junkrat's playground. You get into close quarters, that's the last place you want to be against this guy. And while Hureg, look at this, let's see it. Ah, there's the stick. Oh, and they group up for it too. MG and Freefield dead. D-Mech on Zushu. This time around, looks like they're gonna get rid of him a bit faster.
Sweet release of death. 5King will join his team back in spawn. And man, they got almost nothing done, so that they're not even gonna have their support ultimates though. Although Transcend will work. I think you wait and try to get this execution where you can barrier in. And I know I sound like a broken record, but barrier, then Transcend. And maybe everyone can actually live through it. So far, every time they've used one of these ultimates, it's been in an uneven situation where they're only going in 4v6, 5v6, and they have to use everything anyway.
Well, they're loving this Junkrat, just throwing in nades. But now 5King, I mean, they're pushing. They don't have barrier yet. Transcend has been used. Primal has been used as well, but with the Discord rather, he's taking a lot of damage. Prophet wins the duel straight up versus 8-0, fine there. And Hagopun just trancing out. Watch it coming, watch it. The tire gets denied by Zushu.
Getting a little bit of progress here. They used barrier in that last fight and Transcend. Freefio will fall late. MG is on the cleanup, gets gesture here. It's usually the raid boss for this team, but Hagopun just getting pocketed by this Mercy. It's not over yet. London doesn't give up anything for free.
Yeah, and they've got a tick now, at least Shanghai Dragons, but once again, this is not, they don't have the time to go for a full reset, not really. I mean, Zushu is backing out. 5King, MG, they're all out of there as well, but yeah, 8-0 dies fearfully late. He's only just now going to respawn.
Ado has been playing alone exceptionally for even a Genji. He's always out of the mix for his team, going to the back lines. They used everything in that last fight. Desperation time. Gotta find something for Shanghai here. They're gonna have to push into a Valkyrie. That is not a pleasant experience.
Yeah, Closer can just chuck it out there immediately. There it is, wings are out. So he's just guaranteeing that his teammates are going to get all the heals, all the damage. Hagopun gets his trance as well. No joy here for the Dragons as everybody gets topped right back up again for London Spitfire, and the fight continues. Hureg not even willing to go for the pulse. Just trying to get it done the hard way.
Yeah, no need right now. He's just gonna save it, can toss it into any one of these doorways. And London will throw out the victory tire. It's been a good year for them. They will go up 3-0 and officially win the set against Shanghai Dragons.
Now it's a matter of picking up the 4-0. Clean as could be. Map difference does make a difference going into the playoffs. Could be the difference between getting that second seed, that third seed. not going to be possible to take it away from New York in terms of the first seed.
No, New York's map differential is simply too good. They've been great on this stage, but London just wants to get a game against New York. They were able to take them down last time in the Stage 1 playoffs, and it looks inevitable that we will see London versus New York again in Stage 2.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Time to get into the last map of this series, London Spitfire. They've won the series, but of course, every map matters. It's something we just have to keep mentioning because when it comes to playoff time, that's where you see a team maybe not make the cut, not make that top 3.
Yeah, Stage 1 came down to a map differential and where teams are going to win and lose, and if this team wins, another team gets in. Like, every map is important, so they definitely want to take it there. And look, I'm rooting for Shanghai. I've been unabashedly rooting for Shanghai for a very long time. I think everyone's rooting for Shanghai. Even some London fans are probably like, let them win. Let them have one. And then you got to get a stage. It's all zeros on the board for them. They haven't gotten a point. Look, it's hard to say they've even won a fight. So, I know we say this often, but start small, get a kill, win a fight, get some support ultimates going, get some stuff happening here, build some confidence. We're going to have to go to Gibraltar. Maybe we will find out who plays Widow on this iteration of the Shanghai Dragons.
That is going to be the big question. This is pretty much Widow's playground, and well, should be perfectly fine as far as London Spitfire are concerned. Now moving over to Shanghai, the question marks, they're still there. And so we do see it kind of developing here as the time ticks down for the teams to start. We're going to get the map fly through as you go through the car wash down here, make your way back up to the first point.
Yeah, just as a side note, the reason we call it car wash is it used to be a place where Symmetra would set up all her turrets down there. Have you ever gone through an automatic car wash? It's awesome. It's really fun. You just get sprayed on by everything. It's beautiful. There's a car wash spray in the game. It's one of my favorites. It's for Symmetra. even though Symmetra's not played anymore at all, ever, in the Overwatch League, we still call it Car Wash because old habits die hard.
Yeah, no, you have to have that.
Actually, it used to be a point under that bridge. That's why I used to set up down there. There used to be a first checkpoint right under that bridge.
That's it. That's it. Exactly where the fights used to happen. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, best tag in the game has got to be "You have been probed" with the alien.
I like Tea Time from Ana.
No.
Oh,
actually, yes. Yeah. Okay, I see where you're going.
Tea Time, man. It's Tea Time. Well, we'll see what's gonna. Fun fact from last map: Prophet didn't die. Not once, not never. Did not die.
Got 16 final blows.
16 final blows, 29 total eliminations. So even if you just take out the deaths he kind of contributed to, 16-0 is a pretty good KDR.
Yeah, it's
pretty good.
It's solid. It's a feel-good moment for Prophet, and you can see over on London Spitfire's side of things, you know, they're feeling it. They're doing a pretty good job of things right now. Okay, so Prophet not going to go for the troll pick. Could have gone for the torp, built the turret on that payload, try to march it forward, but instead he will be going for the Genji, and it will be Gesture, who's on Widow to start.
Oh, this isn't happening, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, triple DPS, Gesture, the Winston himself, going to be on the Widowmaker. And you know what would not surprise me to see him rocket? Gesture is just that good.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, Gesture right now, he's like, guys, let me have some fun. He's gonna get a chance. There we go. One headshot, body shot. That checks out. The thing is that yes, okay, you're a DPS main, but a lot of tanks, a lot of supports, you put them onto DPS, like they will bring the hurt.
Yeah, these are the best players in the world. They can play nearly everything. They just specialize in certain heroes and just to get the rhythm of it. But it's been no surprise to see support players go into DPS or any sort of flexes happen. These are still top tier players no matter what. And he also knows how to deal with a Winston because, you know, he's a pretty good Winston himself.
Oh man, he keeps, there we go. Prophet finally capitalizes. The number of times that Edo keeps getting away with like 2 HP.
He can't keep getting away with it. He does not. He is out of there as London continues their slow and steady push. Shanghai has not really even initiated a single fight. That might be a
lining up.
Start.
There you go. Ah, for a second there, you're thinking, yep, there it is. Spare parts, free field is going to be sold on the marketplace.
It's been a very slow going Gibraltar so far. Only 4 total kills, of course, all for London as they take first point. We'll roll through here, make that 5 as MG will fall as well. And I really want to see who on Shanghai is going to play Widow, because you still need a Widow even though they're running 3 DPS. It's the best answer to the Widow. The tanks have been largely ineffective trying to go after the Widow here. And on this point particularly, and going into last, you need to have someone to put a little bit of pressure on Widowmaker.
Well, the wall hacks are up, and so everybody on London Spitfire gets to see through walls at this point. That's when the models fill in. Well, Gesture, he's got the perfect oversight angle. Reflect is going to stop him, however, from hitting that first shot now. However, they're cut in half here, so it gets a little awkward for Shanghai.
Well, the tanks were sitting bottom left, and they had to jump in just to go top right with the rest of their team. They took some damage there, so you just see small signs of that kind of lack of coordination for his team. Prophet's got a blade, and he's near the back line.
Well, he is going to be able to get in on one. Hurek robs him, however. That's awkward. He used the dash already. He needs a kill. This is a very, well, it's a rubber sword. In fact, he gets nothing out of it.
That does not matter. Closer is able to get his counterpart with the pistol on the Mercy. They will continue to roll through. 10 kills for London. Nigh a spot of blood on their uniforms as Shanghai has yet to get their first kill of the map.
Oh man, 5 King can't catch a break. They keep killing this guy so late that he spawns in the middle of nowhere.
That's the Gibraltar special right there. It's just a map that is known for its split spawns, can be absolutely brutal. And now you've got Gesture up in the spot. He's getting boosted. Still no switches have come out for Shanghai to try to deal with this, so it's going to be up to the tanks. Maybe Otto can get to the back line. There are other ways to deal with the Widow. I just don't find any of them nearly as effective as a Widow of her own.
No, but we do have a blade. That could actually do something here. Edo trying to make it work. He will find one before Prophet snuffs him. Agopun, no joy for him. Prophet gonna get right into the back line though. That forces out the trance. No blade though, and so he's gonna be feeling pretty happy about that, Prophet. As they finally do manage to put up a bit of defense here, Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, get some kills there finally. They've notched 3 so far. They've all come in the last minute or so. Agopin's able to take down MG though. Hurek needs healing. Hiding out waiting, and this is not the spot that you want to be in for London as they're in the artificial choke, but Shanghai will back off.
Yeah, Shanghai letting him breathe for a second. MG, unfortunately for him, his pulse got eaten by the D-Matrix.
Yeah, Gesture has to get off the Widow. They're starting to take it a little bit more seriously now. They're going to run 2 tanks.
Oh, this could work out, but the wings are there to keep Refill alive. Never mind, Prophet is there with the blade, and finally he's so happy. Gets to get a kill out of it. Backing off on the side, dodges that self-destruct, no problem at all, and Zushu able to get the remake, and so that's pretty solid here for Shanghai Dragons. Hurag as well, gonna get overwhelmed. Ado's there to be the hero, and the res right in the middle of nowhere.
Res is right in his face. They are still trying to push through though, but London could be deflected back. A single support up for them. Have to back off just for the moment. Will regain full strength and continue to push forward. 6v6. MG Zushu very low right now. Fearless will die.
The Discord's too good. Fearless just gets demolished, taking additional damage like that. And MG kind of dancing. Zushu will get run over. And we will have now the body blocks perhaps at spawn. It is entirely possible. They are trying to change up the angle, it looks like. Fearless trying to run around the other side.
Prophet and Fury still yet to die on this map. Prophet have not died in the last map either. Here comes a blade, beautiful blade. Closer starts it from Otto. Starts it off on the closer, but only gets one.
That is insult to injury. He dies to Hago. He's supposed to be killing Hago, not dying to him. Prophet finds MG. We have lost the tanks, however, for London Spitfire, and so this is where the push should definitely end. Fearless hunts down Hagopun. So now it is still going to be on Prophet.
They're in trouble. Hurag cannot get out here. You cannot allow him to escape. They will punish that and slow them down just a little bit. Prophet was also lurking around on the left side here. I know London has to be careful of taking this a little too lightly and starting to develop some bad habits, because those are issues that you do not want carrying over as you head into more important games as the Stage 2 playoffs. Retreats still need to come in. Execution still needs to be crisp.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Genji. The payload is stopped. Yes, nobody is on it. Thank you. Ah, well, here we go. There it is. 1, 2. Yes, finds Ado in the end. Valve's not going to be there to save him. 2 quick kills. Could find a third here, but MG's able to get on a pack. And in the meantime, they still have a presence on the payload. Gesture himself taking the fight to him as he always does. Ado under pressure. Ado gone.
Yeah, they finally switched to the Widow on defense because they know they can't send the tanks after it. The card is simply too far. Prophet, last second will dispatch a 5 King. It's been a brawl. It's been kind of sloppy on both sides here as the last point continues to push. And now they've got lockdown Primal Rage. Bouncer at the door.
Oh, man, lining up, just doing the work. London Spitfire completes their offense, picking up all 3 points with a minute 41 left in the bank.
Some signs of life for Shanghai there, though. I think going forward, again, another thing you'd like to see improve is Otto getting more than 1 on his Dragon Blades. Dragon Blade is an ultimate that should be getting you probably 2 kills at the very least at a high level like this, unless it gets completely countered. It's just about working with your team, making sure you have an orb before you go in. Again, this comes back to supports a little bit too. Maybe combo it with a barrier and help him out. You need to find out what is working for your team and go in on that strategy. I still think they're in the feeling out phase of who's going to do this, who can we really trust, who is our carry that needs all the support, who can we just get behind? It might be Otto.
Where is the leader?
That's a good question as well.
You need that team captain, you need that leader, the man who's going to be able to actually push them forward, get them rallied around.
I thought it might be Dia, but he's just not here. We keep talking about him. He's just not here. He had to leave. He's a veteran gamer. He's been around Overwatch for a very long time. He's carried teams on his back before in the OWPS. He's a guy that you can definitely rally behind, and it's a guy that you just look at him play and you respect his skill, you respect his positioning, he's intelligent, but now he's not here. There's no use talking about players that are not on this team right now. You got to find something else, and I don't know, where do you look? You got to dig inside yourself and just hopefully get a point. I just want to see them get a point.
Yeah, at this point, hey, it is going to be them, but look at this Prophet, man.
It's a cool spot. We saw this actually in a different match. I believe it was Jake maybe from Houston hanging out on that edge over there. And it's really nice. You never see it. Tracer's completely set up.
Hey, those are respectable stats for Gesture on his Widow. Not too bad. For a tank?
I mean, there's really no 2 different heroes than Winston and Widowmaker, right? They may begin with the same couple of letters, but one requires specific clicking on heads, and, well, I mean, Winston does not.
Yeah, the other's running around with a Tesla cannon that just AoEs everything in front of him. Aim? What's that?
I've always found it interesting, though, when players swap off of their main hero and play, like, the counter to it, right? Because they know exactly how they get played against all the time, and it actually helps out their intelligence.
Well, Gesture, he's just doing his thing. Moving forward. We do have Edo on the Widowmaker to start, so that is interesting. Gonna provide some of that oversight or some of that firepower here. for the Shanghai Dragons. Hureg not quite connecting with heads just yet, but they are playing this very passively, London Spitfire, as far as holding the high ground. They are poking about, but they haven't really exposed themselves to getting picked too early on here.
Yeah, they're just going to back out and start playing this game where they deny the high ground. We'll see if MG can flush them out of their hiding spots here. They're going to know he's there, though, because you blew up that mine. Refield will fall to Jester in the meantime.
That was a nice dive there between Jester and Prophet, just collapsing on Freefield, no problem at all. And then managing to get right back out again.
They will look at the resurrection going here. So trying to find their footing, get set up on this high ground. This is where they want to be. You got to get these tanks off here, though. Tank's only job right now is to hang out up here on what looks like an air conditioning unit. Make sure no one can take that away from them on the offense.
The concern is here, if you're not getting these kills on the tanks, well, that's one way to do it. Great job there from Freefield, but then the rest of his teammates die horribly. So there is that, though, because Freefield, you're thinking, okay, if you're going to poke at these tanks, you need to get a kill on them, because otherwise you're just feeding ults over to London Spitfire. Hagapun's already got trance. Closer probably would have had Valk if he hadn't died so early on in that fight. Whereas we still are waiting for Shanghai Dragon ults to come online here.
We'll get it for the next fight. Hureg and Otto about to get themselves in an enemy at the gate situation here.
Oh, run from him. At least it was quick. All right, moving through. And it really is just London Spitfire now deciding to take the fight to him. Shanghai Dragons getting overwhelmed on their side of the map. That payload, it actually is working its way back up against gravity right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's how gravity works, but I don't know enough to dispute it.
It's, you know, hover, I mean, I don't know, Marty McFly, like hover jets.
Yeah, well, we have hoverboards now and they have wheels, so that word means nothing anymore. Otto.
Hey!
She gave herself away. She called out Sniper and then finishes it off. That is going to have to be a reset. Nearly 90 seconds only left for Shanghai. It's time to see some support value come out. Valkyrie up. Transcendence up. This is something that's been missing. Can they convert support ultimates into fight wins? Going to be difficult when the other team has their support ults up the entire time as well.
Exactly right. Fairly even in terms of ultimates now. Zushu very close to getting the self-destruct, so we'll see what he can make happen there. Prophet just goes leaping in. He's got Jester there to back him. Ado is deleted immediately at the beginning of that fight. And we already have Fearless going for the Primal. Jester going forward as well. Looks like he will be able to back out here just in time and in the perfect position to protect his backline as well. Fearless really trying to get in there to take the fight to him, but Jester will not allow it.
Well, they will resurrect him, though. So far, Prophet has 32 final blows and 0 deaths over the last 2 maps. He will add another one as he sticks Fearless in the back line. Shanghai has not been able to get any of the support ultimates out of the other side of the team. We'll get a resurrection out, but Hagopin and Close are still holding their support ults. I think they're really trying to bait them out so they can come into support ults of their own.
There we go.
Yeah, there's the Valk.
There's the Valk from 5 King. Fury still waiting. Could go ahead and drop the self-destruct if he wanted to. Getting rid of the shields, that would be a big one. Kind of dancing on the edge here. They're giving ground on his Spitfire, but only to get better positioning. It's closer to science. Now it's time. Wings are out for him. Hagopin getting forced to use the trance. Perhaps not ideal. This is a moment now for Shanghai Dragons to try and take advantage of. Fury still holding on to his mech to the very bitter end.
Yeah, a little bit of a layer trance. He can actually drop his self-destruct right in that doorway and walk out, but he chooses not to. Jester will fall meanwhile. Shanghai making a last-second push. Let's get that 0 off the board.
Let's get that 0 off the board. Let's kill Prophet too. He's still sporting 0 deaths. Fury still hanging out, and yes, you get the kill, but the self-destruct goes out immediately. Fury will get eviscerated, but that's fine because they are going to continue to push forward, and it will be 1 point picked up here for Shanghai Dragons.
A lot of good things started to go right there. Support ultimates turn into team fight wins. You get a double kill from the Dragon Blade, and you get the first point of the set for Shanghai. No more zeros on the board. Even Prophet died that 0 off the board as well.
Yeah, Prophet not going to be feeling too happy about that one. Was it 33 final blows?
Yeah, that's exactly where he's at.
And 1 death now. So Jester decides to take revenge. And both of these supports are dead now for Shanghai Dragons. So we're at a minute 50 on the clock here for Shanghai Dragons, trying to make it through the hangar. Perilously difficult points to get through if you get stalled out.
It's so you need to ride the momentum of your first point to be able to get established here on an offense of the second, because that giant door closes and only the maintenance panels open. Very small, pick your poison, 1 of 4. They're never fun to try to get through. And you have to get through, and then you have to try to take over the top of shuttle where the defense usually wants to set up. Prophet is lurking. He's got a pulse bomb ready. He seizes Zenyatta.
And there we go. Yeah, sees him completely alone, no less. Obliterates him. Zushu gets T-Max. We even have 5 King dying. Hureg is still around with the Widow. If you're going to float in midair without moving, that is definitely a shot that he's going to take, and he will not miss.
Very nice play there. Fury trying to get any stragglers here. We are under 1 minute for Shanghai's next push. They actually have the support ultimate advantage, so they can just take a ground war, try not to eat too much damage on the way in, pop Transcend and see what can happen after it. So they're gonna have to get through these doors. Prophet's still lurking. Uh-oh.
There it is. No, he misses it. Never mind, he got it on the free field. Rez is going through. The support, the D-Matrix was there to keep 5 King alive. That's so clean and important there for Shanghai Dragons.
Those little things that have to become habit for this team if they want to get going forward. It's a beautiful use of the defense matrix. It will not matter though, as if both supports fall, Fearless will fall soon after. And they're just gonna leave this Pilot Diva alive. With the last push going through, they will eventually escort both Otto and Zushu through spawn. And I think they're gonna try to camp doorways here. 10 seconds, can Shanghai get back to this cart and touch it?
Prophet's just throwing himself bodily in there. Does get the recall out. Gesture, because he has the primal, decides to go leaping right into the back line. Takes 5 King solo, and that will be London Spitfire. They give up a point on Gibraltar, but they win the series 4-0. Excellent performance from them going into the playoffs this weekend.
Now Prophet goes out with, I believe that is 37 final blows, not even just eliminations. Final blows, 37. 1 death in the last 2 maps combined. Prophet might as well be on vacation.
He's loving life right now. Good warm up, good keeping it together for him. Hago also getting a bit of a chance to show himself. Hureg as well with the McCree, had some standout moments. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and hand it over to the desk now and hear what they have to say about this match.
Thank you so much, Semler and Hex. A great way to finish our Friday if you're a London Spitfire fan. 4-0 as they close out the night. They walk away with victories on Hollywood and Gibraltar. I'm Chris Puckett here with the desk one more time. We got Crumbs, we've got Reinforced, and let's get into the games here. We knew it was going to be London, the favorites coming in. They showed us a lot of fun throughout this series. On Hollywood, Prophet got off of Tracer for a minute to show off his Junkrat. Gesture was constantly batting people around, but it was Hureg I was keeping my eyes on. The McCree came out here for Hollywood.
Yes, and he even played it someone, Hanamura, a very explosive hero, of course. Usually we see Hureg on the hit scam heroes such as Soldier, Widowmaker, and the McCree, but it seems like McCree is his favorite hero thus far, and he did a lot of work on Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, you can afford to have a little bit more fun when the enemy team is not as coordinated as you would have expected, and it's obvious because they're still jet lagged, they're still having their growing pains, so this is what you expected out of the match, and it's good to see that London Spitfire enjoy themselves.
Absolutely, Hureg showing off his Tracer plays here. The shot's not as good as the Pulse Bombs, but still cleans up all 3 of those kills. Hollywood, pretty quick game, but
Gesture Widow.
This was the highlight of the day for me. A guy who has to play main tank, who is the focus of all the fire the entirety of a series, gets to pop off on a DPS hero in the far back line.
Yeah, that's what you get when you practice aiming at Winston so much. It translates perfectly into Widowmaker, as we've seen Taimu also make the switch.
Okay, bit different, but
you know what I was going for, man.
I'll allow it.
Great stuff from London Spitfire. Now we know this is basically a victory lap for them. They've already played all of the toughest teams. They still have one more match to go here, and that's going to be against Dallas to close things out on Saturday. Right now, this squad is looking like they're set up to be the #1 seed potentially coming into the finals on Sunday. For now, though, we got to crown our Spitfire player of the match. This is sponsored by Omen by HP. It's Gesture.
Easy.
36 final blows.
Not a
Some
tank.
of those came as Widow. Only 9 deaths the entirety of this series. What a monster performance.
Not a tank today.
Of course,
not all the time.
Not all the time. I mean, I envy him just a bit. But of course, given that Fisher transferred to the Gladiators, I feel like Gesture has found some new motivation to actually compete and be the #1 Winston in the world. Not the #1 Widowmaker. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh.
Here are these Widowmaker stats. Fair enough.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Almost 15% crit percentage. That puts him around a lot of the big names in the league here. But
That's
really,
roughly as me.
3 final blows, 8 eliminations. His teamates let him play it there on point A.
Not
for
even
the
5
final
minutes.
map.
Not even 5 minutes of Widow for him.
Got to put him back on the monkey. He's the best with it, right, guys? Best in the league, Johnny? True or false?
False.
All right, we won't get into that right now. For now, though, we will update you on our standings. At the end of this crazy week, well, we're only 3 of the 4 days through, and you can see in Stage 2, it's looking like the New York XL and the Spitfire are your clear top 2. The question is, who's coming out at number 3? Philly didn't get the 4-0 they were looking for. Neither did Seoul today.
Keep an eye on the Gladiators. They're playing the Boston Uprising tomorrow. They need a 3-0 or a 4-0, and they secure themselves a Stage 2 playoff spot.
But I think the #1 spot is actually pretty tough now because Dallas gave New York a run for their money, so they could definitely show up strong against London. And Valiant just took Philly to 5 games. These are not going to be easy games for London or New York at all.
It's a great way to close out Stage 2, and it's all happening tomorrow. Join us for those matches. It's 1 p.m. Pacific time. For now, thank you for watching. We'll see you bright and early. Day 4, Stage 2, Overwatch League continues tomorrow morning.